coming to the green flag here for round number 5 of the 2023 FBRL Hardee's National Series season. Round number 5 here at Kentucky Speedway is about to go underway here. Corey Williams on pole position alongside Lane Sanders. Green flag in the air here at Kentucky. Corey Williams jumps out to the lead, but they already went 3 wide in the opening lap here. As Lane Sanders, the outside pole sitter, tries to get to the bottom lane to settle in. And Corey Williams, who had a great start, he's going to lead the first lap here. As now Lane Sanders trying to hold off a challenge for second place from Brandon Beal in the 91. Sanders on the outside with Brandon Beal sort of pushing him up the track there, but they get through the corner. Collins on the bottom lane does not get a good run. There's going to be a lot of take here. A lot of people already trying to dive around, try to take some positions here. This is a very fast track, and with how strong the draft is, it's going to make things very interesting here. Here's Nick Breeding on the bottom lane trying to make his moves here. Sanders starts to fall back there, getting trapped on the outside lane, but does get a good run off of it. And you can see it is a very packed group of cars here, as the entire field is basically stuck heel to toe. As Jeff James on the outside had a little bit of a bad entry in turn 3, and turn 3 is definitely going to be the trouble spot this weekend. A lot of guys have been struggling trying to hit their marks in that corner. Nick Breeding in this 9 car did not exactly have the... Well, he had a solid qualifying effort, but he managed to get from the outside to the bottom here, and he's going to be up to 3rd here in the first 5 laps. Breeding looking for 2nd from Ryan Butcher in the 8 car. Butcher trying to fight back around the outside, but Breeding with a very strong car here. They seem to have got this car set up for the race instead of qualifying here. And Breeding, he's going to clear the 8 of Butcher to take 2nd place, and now has his sights set on Corey Williams in that 14. Breeding gets a good run off of turn 2, gets right to the bumper of the 14 of Corey Williams, and Breeding throws it down to the bottom lane. And he is going to make it stick, as Corey Williams has got no defense for that maneuver there. So nice piece of drawing by Breeding, and the defending series champion out into the lead in search of his 2nd win of the season. Butcher repasses the 71 of RJ Bishop for 3rd. Brandon Beal in 5th place there. And he's trying to get his season back together there, as kind of a tough past couple of weeks for this 91 group. They've gone through some major changes to begin the season, and so far Beal's looking pretty spiffy today, but they're trying to put a full race together here, as this is definitely not Daytona. Richard Johnson up to 9th place here as he passed Gatlin Downey for the position. Qualified 22nd and is one of the fastest cars right now. Joseph Srigley Racing coming off their first win as a team back in Homestead a couple weeks ago with Malik Nevins driving the number 11 car. And that was quite the celebration post-race for that team. It was a win that was a long time coming, and they would love to see if they could potentially go back-to-back here. And Richard Johnson, he's looking really quick so far, and I think he's making a very methodical march towards the front here. Got a really tight battle here for 14th with Adam Verlines in the 77 making his debut, and the 83 of Dylan Poteet. Dylan Poteet very excited for this weekend here. This is what he came out and considered as his home race, as he is a Kentucky native, or relatively close to Kentucky, so this is a bit of a home race for him, and he had a great qualifying effort, really a shockingly great qualifying effort for this rookie. And only his only a handful of starts so far, he's been slowly getting better. And Red Bull Racing, they've had a bit of a slow start to the year. Now, fortunately, Poteet had a little bit of a scrum with Lilith Onyx at Homestead, but they're trying to rebound from that here. And Adam Verlaine's in the 77. I'm trying to figure out how that last name is pronounced, but he's making his debut, and he's doing quite well so far, keeping up with his rookie teammate Cameron Lessard in the 84 as Poteet makes a dive beneath the 77 for 14th. So nice pass for Poteet there. He did not get a good start, but he's on the move right now and trying to get back into the top 10. Cody Goforth to qualify 23rd. He is up to 13th. And I have to say, Cody Goforth's been one of the more impressive drivers to start off the year for Single Z Racing. Had a great finish at Homestead a couple weeks ago. And this 92 team, they've shown some really solid speed. And they're trying to see if they could somehow march towards the top 10 here. Single Z Racing, they've been pretty quick on some races. Granted, they've had races where one was quicker than the other, as it is right now with Goforth, but he's doing a really good job here in this 92 car. And yeah, Single Z Racing, this Honda partnership, I think seems to be working out so far. They've gotten more top 5s and top 10s in the first 4 races of this season than they have in their entire history in Hardee, so it's been quite a good start to the year for this team. Here's Diego Lugo making his Hardee's National Series debut, driving the number 59 for Fitzwater Racing Team, driving for the suspended Lilith Onyx, who in 2 starts has managed to get suspended twice. And Fitzwater Racing Team had to kind of get an emergency driver here. Lugo, not a American native, and he's got basically no oval experience, and they're basically throwing him into the deep end with a car that isn't exactly the most competitive on ovals, at least. So he's currently running dead last, but hey, you know, he's learning. He's got little to no experience, and I'd say, I mean, keeping up with some of the drivers here at all is, I think, a pretty impressive feat, all things considered here. So we'll see if maybe he gets faster as the day goes on. Julio Caesar in the 22, he's back. Last year he drove for Joseph Sturrigley Racing, and was not exactly planned to run here at FBRL at all this year, but Fisher Motorsports gave him a call, asked him to see if he could come run some of the standalone Hardee's races, and he accepted it. And this is actually a good opportunity here, because Julio Caesar got one of his best finishes of the season at this track last season for Joseph Sturrigley Racing. And he's trying to get a good finish for Fisher Motorsports here, but again, it's been a hot minute since Caesar's been in one of these cars, and he's currently running in 35th. Trying to see if he can slowly work his way up through this field. A driver in a similar situation is Memphis Fisher. And the number 11 there is, whoa, contact with his teammate as Tim Fiegel, I think, just shoved Stuart Grattan up the track almost into the wall. That could have been ugly. But Grattan, I got him out of shape there, but here comes his teammate Fisher to take another spot from him. Just to add insult to injury, but Fisher in a similar situation as Caesar, where wasn't exactly planning to run in the Hardee Series at all this year. He was supposed to run in the Truck Series before his ride fell through, or his deal with his ride fell through. But he's back, and he's going to drive some of the standalone races for Joseph Sturrigley Racing. And he's still kind of getting acclimated to these cars again, running 23rd. And this is the car that won at Homestead a few weeks ago, mind you. So Fisher is in a very good position here to have a really strong day. Pit stops are underway. Nick Breeding, the leader, is going to surrender the lead to come to pit road to begin this pit cycle. And if you're wondering, tire wear, 3.5 seconds of tire wear throughout the run, so pitting early here could get you some positions to try and get an undercut going there. Here comes Corey Williams in the 14. As Gallon Downey makes a late dive into the pit road. So that's the second group of cars there as, ooh, look at this. Adam Verlaines in the 77 is going to elect to stay out longer. And he's going to lead his first career lap here as he decides to, looks like they're going to go for a long run strategy here. They're going to pit late and trying to make up the time later on an overcut. So we'll see if this works out. A couple of guys also followed him through. Eric Rodriguez, Memphis Fisher, doing the same strategy. Well, check out who has picked up the lead here. Kev Shear in the 0 car, who was running in the top 5 when the pit cycle started. He has come out in front of the 9 of Nick Breeding. A great stop from the 0 team of Shade Binyako Racing, which is funny because this 0 team at Dubai kind of had a bit of a struggle, and costed Kev Shear a lot of positions here, but I think this week they've figured something out because Shear has now assumed the lead based on pit stops alone. And now that's going to put Nick Breeding down into second place here, and now he's going to have to try and get past Shear. This 9 car has been super quick, so Shear's going to have his hands full. Here comes the 9 of Breeding. He's got a massive run here on the 0 car. I don't think Shear's got much of a car that can contend with the speed of this 9. And Breeding with a good run off of turn 2, just how he passed Corey Williams the first time. He's going to use the same maneuver to get past the 0 of Shear to take the lead here at Kentucky. So Breeding back out in front after a short stint from Kev Shear. Richard Johnson comes out in third place on the pit cycle. Kyle Collins in the 41, driving the High Point 41. New sponsor for him. Running in fourth place here, Gallon Downey back in fifth place. Corey Williams, who started the race off leading, has dropped down to sixth place, trying to see if he can get those positions back. Jeff James, who kind of struggled at the beginning of the run, he's now in the top 10. Brandon Beal up in 8th place there. Ryan Butcher 9th. And Cody Goforth takes 10th place from Lane Sanders. So Cody Goforth in this 92 for Single Z Racing, continuing to impress here. Outrunning the 2 Turner cars. Imagine saying that last season. My goodness, this move to Honda has really helped this Single Z Racing team a lot. And I think Cody Goforth, who had some races last season, has been running in the Truck Series for the past couple of years. Ran a part-time schedule for Spartan Motorsports last year. Had a couple of solid runs. Didn't really have great finishes, but he ran well in most cases. And he's trying to show that he is ready for the next step in his career. And I'd say so far he is showing that he was very much ready for it. Here's Christian Vargas in the 51 car, running outside the top 15 in 16th. Vargas really did great at Homestead before getting involved in an accident early in the race, and this 51 car has shown some great speed throughout the beginning of the season so far. Flipside Motorsports has been really good to start off the year, and they're trying to see if they can maybe get a win this year in their return to the Hardee's National Series. Vargas has been kind of the more impressive driver between himself and his teammate Eric Rodriguez, but they've had a bit of a struggle so far this weekend. Eric was pretty quick in practice, but so far during this race they've struggled to crack the top 15. But Vargas, I think, is starting to get his car sorted out here because he's starting to pick up the pace. Look at this battle here. Rowe trying to make a pass on Stuart Grant in the 16. And here comes Adam Verlaines. Ooh, gets to the quarter penalty, 86 of Rowe. Rowe comes up into the 16 of Grattan. And 3 wide in that corner is Bold. But Adam Verlaines making a very interesting first impression here. I think sending the message to Spartan Motorsports saying, hey, I'm not afraid to make some big moves. And I have to imagine Spartan probably was both terrified and impressed of that maneuver by that young rookie. Here's Daniel Bouchard in the 82 as well, trying to join his Honda brethren inside the top 17 here as he gets past Stuart Gratton. Bouchard and this 82 team not exactly having the start to the year that they wanted, as we have reached the halfway point of this race. Red Bull Racing has struggled a bit out the gate this year, especially in comparison to Spartan Motorsports, their rivals at Honda. But Dylan Poteet and Bouchard have both done pretty well so far today, running inside the top 20. So I think they're just slowly starting to get better every week here. And they're hoping to keep making progress. We're now in the second half of this race here. Here's the two Texas Motorsports cars of Dunlop Pratt and Ryan Reed. Dunlop Pratt, who sits outside the top 30 Norris points, but because one of the cars in the top 30 Norris points was a part-time car, LaPrade did get in without having to go into go or go home qualifying. So LaPrade is trying to make sure that stays the same case here. Texas Motorsports, their move to Mercedes has so far not really improved the pace of these cars, at least not yet. And they're still trying to get their act together. Last season was a very difficult year, and they're hoping for better things this year. Ryan Reed's had some pretty solid runs, but this team's just been unlucky, to be quite honest with you. And they're hoping to have some kind of good luck today. They need it. Battle for second here, Corey Williams, who is the fastest car on the racetrack right now. He is going to try and make this pass on Kev Shear in the 0 car. Corey does make the pass there. Curtis Racing still looking for their first win of 2023 here in the Hardee's National Series. And right now Corey Williams could be the man who could change that. He's run some very quick lap times here. He pitted a lap after Nick Breeding and Kev Shear did, so he's going to have better long run pace than these guys. Same case for Richard Johnson, so should be interesting to see here if Corey can catch Breeding here by the end of the run, as the next pit cycle here should start in about 10 or so laps. Justin Henley, who finished in the top 10 at Homestead, and a big surprise, he's struggling, which is kind of disappointment. I think this team was hoping to ride some momentum coming into Kentucky this weekend, but Henley has just really struggled for pace. I don't really think it's Henley's fault. I think it's just they really missed the setup this weekend in this 45 car. His teammate Tyler Collins is a bit up the road, but gotta feel bad for Henley. They're gonna need some help or a really big adjustment here to get this car back up to speed. Corey Williams has got to the 9 of Nick Breeding here, as Corey gets a massive run through turn 2, made up almost 2 car lengths on the 9, and here comes the 14 to the bottom lane for the lead. Breeding on the outside trying to hold him. But I'm not sure he's going to be able to hold off this 14, who's got a really strong long-run car here. And Corey does take the lead from the 9 of Breeding, clears him. Richard Johnson up to 3rd place as he got past Kev Shear. Gallon Downing, the 12, starting to make some headway. And we're coming up on the final stop of the day. So this long-run strategy that this 14 went for seems to be working out so far. And you have to imagine this 19 maybe taking some notes. Maybe it might be best to maybe wait a little bit longer on the pit stop. Doug Lockrow, who also had a surprise qualifying effort as he qualified 3rd, but unfortunately kind of fell back a little bit at the start of the race. But still, this 35 has been pretty quick. One of the fastest dodges of the day, of the weekend even. And trying to search for a top 10 finish here in the 35 car, as he's going to get into the top 10 by passing the 4 of Jeff James. Kev Shear, he's coming to pit road. Looks like they're going to undercut the run here, as Shear got the lead on the last pit stop here, trying to replicate that same strategy here. So he's going to kick off this final pit cycle. Oh, we got trouble. Daniel Voiles is in the grass, and he's around. Gets the car straightened, and he's kicking up a lot of dirt on the infield here. The pit cycle just started. Kev Shear's coming out of his box onto the pit lane, and I think they may throw the caution for this. I think they have, as Voiles is being towed back. And yes, caution has come out. Caution is out on the racetrack right as the pit cycle started. Kev Shear comes out behind the pace car. And we're being told a couple guys are in pit road. Doug Lockrow's in pit road. Richard Johnson, Breeding, Beal, Jeff James, all in pit road. Oh boy, that is going to really mess up the order, I think, because everyone's coming around to take the caution. Oh boy. So let's see what happens to Daniel Voiles here. And, Voiles. Ooh, I wonder if something broke on the 60 car. I wonder if maybe Fitzwater in the 33 may have made some contact and may have knocked something loose off the 60. But yeah, Voiles, he spun, and they threw the caution for that, even though he was off the racing surface. And Voiles, who, I mean, he did what he could. There was not much, something on that car broke, and there wasn't much he could do. But look at this, the caution came out, a couple guys came on pit road, and are they going to come out a lap down? We've seen this happen before, and has it happened again? The pace car has picked up the field here, and Corums is your leader. And we got a couple of guys who just fell a lap down. Now, here's the thing. They're not a lap down now because they are on the tail end of the lead lap. However, Tristan Grace in the 7 car, he is the lucky dog, so they're going to let him come to pit road, and then they're going to give him his lap. So Tristan Grace is the lucky dog, but look at everyone behind. Richard Johnson, Nick Breeding, Cody Goforth, Doug Lockrow, Jeff James, Kyle Collins, Kev Shear, Brandon Beal, and Daniel Bouchard were all caught on pit road. And they are now on the tail of the lead lap here. And I think so what's going to happen here is that once the 7 of Grace comes to pit road, the rest of the field is going to get waved around. But that is going to absolutely kill some of these guys because they are now going to be in the bottom. They're going to be outside the top 30. And they're going to have one heck of a battle to the front here. And that has got to be a massive heartbreak for a lot of these guys. We're having a bit of a problem with the ticker, so unfortunately we can't show it at the moment. But Corey Williams in the 14 has assumed the lead. And look at how much this just changed the complexion of this race. A lot of guys who were struggling, running inside the top 20, but not in the top 10, have now just been gifted track position. And look at the back of this field. There is a lot of laps led in the back of this field. Nick Breeding, Richard Johnson, Lockrow, James, Goforth, a lot of guys with good runs. They were on track for a very good run, top 5s, top 10s, and now in a massive turn of events, they are now going to have one heck of a fight here to get back up towards the front with just under 25 laps to go here at Kentucky. This race has just been turned upside down. And now what's going to happen? Corey Williams is your leader in the 14. Gallon Downing in the 12. And RJ Bishop in 3rd. These guys have been running in the top 5 for most of today, so they made the right choice staying out. an extra lap. And now Downey in second here. I think he's got a good shot. Corey here. As the 12's coming to pit road. Something's wrong with the 12 of Downey. Gallon Downey from second. Something's gone wrong in the 12. Downey's reporting to the Fisher team. He does not think he has a tire secured. They're going to come in and fix the lug nut, and they're going to throw him back out onto the racetrack there. And Downey, who had a shot at the win there, is now going to fall a lap down. In a massive turn of events here for Downey, as this race has just been, this was a relatively calm race and it has now gone a little bit out of control. The ticker is back. Sorry about that. Corey Williams is now out here in front with a decent gap here with 20 laps to go at the line. He's been arguably one of the fastest cars all day long. He was the only one that had anything for Nick Breeding up to this point, but now there's no Breeding and no Richard Johnson. So now Corey, he's the man to beat. And who's going to be able to beat him here? Check this out. Flipside Motorsports now. We were talking about them earlier in the race. These guys were struggling to get inside the top 15, but now they've got both their cars in the top 5. It took a little bit of some luck, but right now the Flipside cars have come to life here at Kentucky. We know Eric Rodriguez has some speed. He had a great car in practice. Didn't qualify as great as they hoped for. But he's got a head of steam here, trying to get to the aid of Ryan Butcher. He's been really quick today as well. And here comes Eric in the 63 to the bottom lane. The Daytona pole sitter, trying to see if he can get to second and maybe make a run at the 14. But it is going to be quite the battle here. Rodriguez clears himself for second place. And it is absolute mayhem behind for third. Butcher trying to hold third now from Sanders and Vargas. Ooh, Vargas, he's getting trapped behind the 8 of Butcher. That lets Sanders go through. I can't imagine Vargas is happy about that. Vargas throws it to the bottom lane, trying to get Butcher to the outside. Wow. It's been a long week. But here comes Vargas now underneath for third against Lane Sanders here. And look at Memphis Fisher making it 3 wide for 6th place there. And he's got a point to prove here as he goes right past Bishop and Verlaines. Oh boy, Memphis Fisher, he's back and he means business as Verlaines. Oh boy, he missed the corner bad. Goodness gracious, that just cost him a couple spots. That's going to put him outside the top 10. But look at Fisher. He is all over the back of this 8. He's running really hard. I think someone must have told him this car won a couple weeks ago, because he's now driving like he's Malik Nevins right now. Ooh, Kukalon into the back of the 8-3 to Poteet. Talking about more guys who have now all of a sudden found themselves in a position to get a great finish here. Dylan Poteet on track for a top 10 here. His first career top 10. Tyler Commons in the 44. He's had a bit of a difficult day. He's been running mid-pack, but he is now inside the top 10, trying to get a top 10 just like his teammate did of Justin Henley. He really wants to match his teammate Sebastian Kukalon inside the top 10 as well for Kevshire Racing Tech. He's battling Ellison for the position here. This is a scramble right now. Everyone knows with so many cars in the back of the field, there's a good opportunity to get a great finish here. Speaking of which, Nick Breeding, of the cars who got trapped in the back, who had to take the wave around, he has made the most headway. He is up to 24th in the 9 car. We know Breeding has a car that could win this race if he had the track position, which he no longer has. But he is trying to get past Justin Henley, who has had an absolutely horrific day in comparison to Homestead, but he's now in position for a potential top 25 here. And considering they were looking at a 37th, that is that's quite a break. But Breeding, he's passing cars left and right here, and credit to Henley, he actually made him work for it a little bit there. But Breeding does not have much time. He's got just over 10 laps to get whatever good finish he can. I imagine a top 20 is the goal at this point, as they are 3 wide in front there as Ryan Reed gets shuffled to the outside lane. This is just chaos all throughout this field. So many different cars and drivers with varying skill levels, all scrambling to get whatever positions they can get. And it's resulting in some really good racing here. 10 laps to go here. Corey Williams is your leader here at Kentucky. And he's got 2 Flipside Motorsports cars behind him. Eric Rodriguez trying to see if he could somehow catch this 14. They're running relatively equal laps, but that's with drafts, so I think this 14 is quicker. But we'll see what happens here. Christian Vargas, who is we have seen run and lead laps this season, he could maybe make around the 14 there, as he's now getting to his teammate of Rodriguez. A second and third for Flipside Motorsports would be absolutely incredible. But you have to imagine they want to win this race as badly as they can. But the thing that may stop them from each other is that 14. The thing that may stop them from that happening could be their own drivers and the strong car of 14 of Corey Williams. I just cannot talk today. I apologize. I'm thirsty. Not in that way. But coming to the closing stages here, Vargas starting to make some headway on Rodriguez for the spot. If you want to make a run at Corey, you need to get to second place right now. And that's what's happening here. Here comes Vargas, seeing if he can squeeze underneath that 63. Ooh, Vargas. Ooh, Eric slid up the corner. He had a really tight entry. And now Vargas trying to take advantage here, but Eric gets the good run off the corner. That's going to open the door for RJ Bishop here. He throws it down the inside for third against Vargas. RJ Bishop, who has been getting quicker and quicker every week. And here comes Memphis Fisher as well in the 11. Memphis Fisher, we saw him have some pretty okay runs last year. But he's really trying to prove a point here, as he's going to get underneath the 71 of Bishop, potentially for third. But not quite yet. Tyler Commons is running some incredibly quick laps in this 44 car as well. They've got this car hooked up, and they really want to go for this win here. Now, I don't think the win's in the cards, but a potential top 5 maybe, if things go the way they wanted. And how about Adam Verlaine's in the 77, looking at a potential top 10 on debut in the Hardee's National Series, and that would be extremely incredible for Spartan Motorsports here if they can pull that off. 4 laps to go here. Corey Williams is pulling away. This looks to be his race at the moment. But this is the battle here, as RJ Bishop trying to get to second place against Rodriguez. Ryan Butcher in the 8 car trying to hold on to fourth from Christian Vargas. This top 10, besides the leader, has been scrapping really hard for positions. It's been fluctuating up and down. As Butcher! Vargas in the wall! Vargas and Butcher make contact, and Butcher hard into the wall with heavy damage. No caution. Butcher is, I think some may have broken that car. I think he's having some trouble steering it. And so, oh no, Ranger Robinson in the back of the 8. Dunlap Pratt in the 42 as well. That's going to bring the caution out. They're racing back to the line. Corey Williams in the 14 is going to take the caution flag. With 2 laps to go, and that will be the end of this race. Oh man, that was not pretty. But Corey Williams now, he is going to take this checkered flag. He's going to take the white flag first, pending the car doesn't break. I hope I'm not jinxing it, but yeah, this race will end under caution. Something we don't see very often here in the Hardee's National Series. Butcher in pit lane. Man, that is a shame. Great day today for that A team. And hold on, we're being told something else has happened. Oh, Kyle Collins has damage in the 41. Dunn LaPrat's coming to pit road. I'm kind of surprised they're going to pit the car. Why not take the spots that you can? He's going to... Oh, man. Okay. Dang, that... I'm surprised he can even see. That hood is bent really badly. But where did Kyle Collins get damage? We're being told something happened after the caution came out. Oh, Voiles, LaPrat. I don't think LaPrat was... I think he was just struggling with that car, trying to keep it pointed straight, and Voiles was there, and that just caused another wreck. And LaPrat, where was he? LaPrat was 29th. And they decide to pull him to pit road. Oh, that's going to cost some owner's points there. Oh, I'm not sure I agree with that decision to pit him. This race will end under caution, but let's see what happened here. This was for the 4th place position here. This was a battle for 4th. Vargas just all over the back of this A car there. And ooh, both of them, they were looking for the same real estate in turn 1. And that ends with them going hard into the wall. And then this is where things get ugly. Butcher, he's got a pack of cars all over him. He's got nowhere to go. Major Robinson hits the back of him. Dunn LaPrat, who just can't catch a break with nowhere to go, slams into the back of this wreck. And Ryan Butcher, his day comes to a very abrupt end, as Tristan Grace has to make evasive maneuvers to avoid him. This race is just about over. Here's the last replay we're going to show of the incident here. How about Joshua Michaels here? We're going to showcase him a little bit here. Joshua Michaels was one of the guys who benefited from that caution. Was battling some very strong cars here, and you saw how close he was to having his race ended there. And look at this. Joshua Michaels for Little Falls Motorsports here. Little Falls Motorsports got their best finish of 17th at Boston last year. That incident and this incredible pass by Michaels sends the 75 into 16th to better this team's best finish. And after how this season started for this team, they finally got a big break there, and what a time to get it. A controversial caution with a controversial ending. but it is going to be Corey Williams in the 14 for Curtis Racing. Scores his first win of 2023 in the FBRL Hardee's National Series, and a strong effort from the 14 team. And if you love statistics, you're going to love this. Corey Williams now moves up to 13 wins and extends his all-time wins list in the Hardee's National Series. Eric Rodriguez, best career finish in the 63 in the Hardee's National Series. And Flipside Motorsports gets their best finish as a team. Rodriguez got a big break there, but they really showed some speed there at the end. Rodriguez, second place. RJ Bishop comes across third with a good run for Turner Performance Racing, both the cars in the top 5. Memphis Fisher, in his return to the Hardee Series, finishes fourth. Lane Sanders comes across for fifth, which is going to be big for his point situation. Tyler Commons, sixth. The best finish for Allen Family Racing Team so far this year. Capitalizes on some problems to get sixth. Adam Verlaines, top 10 on debut in the Hardee's National Series for Spartan Motorsports. So this team's going to be very happy about that. I believe the highest Honda. Nick Pericles gets Sanders Performance Autosport. It's second top 10 this year. 8th place for Pericles. Dylan Poteet, first career top 10 for Red Bull Racing here in the Hardee's National Series. And Christian Vargas gets a kiss from Sebastian Kukulon. He finishes 10th despite the contact with Ryan Butcher on the final couple of laps there.